Hi, my name is Tiago Duarte and welcome to Daily Beats. In this video I'm going to do kind of a product review and I will show you my thoughts, or I will tell you my thoughts about this new keyboard that I have, the Keylab 61 Essentials from Arturia, and the good things that I think the keyboard has, and also the not so good things. But overall, spoiler alert, is a very good keyboard and I'm really happy with it, and I use it a lot more. I use the functionalities that I have in the keyboard more and more. So let's jump into the keyboard and I will show you what I have here. So this is the keyboard. As you can see, it's really nice. When you don't touch the keyboard for a few minutes, it starts with this nice animation of the pads and of the buttons. So it's really nice, especially at night if you have your studio lights off or just have some fill lights. This is really nice. It gives a nice mood to the studio. As you can see here, it has 61 keys and that's why it's called Keylab 61. I didn't want to reduce the amount of keys that I had, so my previous M Audio keyboard had 61 and I thought that was the best number to have. So yeah, this is it. One good thing about this keyboard is that it comes with Analog Lab software with 6,000 synth sounds. This is amazing, and also comes with Ableton Live Lit. I don't use it, to be honest. I have a lot of lit versions of Ableton, but yeah, it comes with it, so that could also be a good selling point for you, and also includes a UVI Grand Piano Model D. Those are really good DAWs and software, and I think the most important thing with this that gave me, how can I say, it gave me the okay to buy was the Analog Lab software with 6,000 synth sounds. That was amazing, and I will show you some of the sounds so that you can see the sounds are really incredible, and I really enjoyed that. So let's see a little bit of the overview of the keyboard here. As I told you, 61 keys. They feel really good. They sound nice, and they have a little bit less pressure than the ones that I had in my other keyboard, the M Audio keyboard. But yeah, they sound good and I really like them. Here on the left we have a pitch and mod wheel. As you can see, this is a normal pitch and mod wheel, and we can see here in the LCD that the values change, and we also have the pitch wheel. So this is good. Then we have here some octave buttons, so we can go down, it blinks 1. If we go 2 down, it blinks twice. If we go 3 down, it blinks 3 times faster, and the same goes for the octave higher. So 1 octave higher, 2 octaves higher, 3 octaves higher. So yeah, I don't, sometimes I might use an octave higher, but most of the times this is enough keys for me to play with and make my beats. We also have here the chord mode, and if we select this, we might have some chords. So let's say I want to play a C minor, I can program the chord so that I can click here and maybe click on C and have just this playing the 3 notes, or even we can program to other stuff. We have here some 6 pads. They sound they feel really good, and I used to have the pads from the Akai Fire, and actually you can see my Akai Fire here on the top here. Yeah, as you can see, now it just serves to have this nice background animation and some lights to distract you from the main purpose of the video. But yeah, they are there. I don't use it too much because now I have this keyboard and I have pretty much everything here. So I used to have my Akai Fire on my right side, and it was nice for finger drumming, but that was the only thing that I used to. So if I wanted to have more functionality like piano and stuff, that was not really good for that, so I switched this, and also because of the transport buttons here. But the knobs feel really good. They have a nice touch to it, and as you can see, they have different LEDs, colors, and whatever you click, they have different colors, and this is really nice. Also, we have some functionalities here. As you can see, Analog Labs there, DAW, and some user banks that we can select stuff. So if I want to switch this to Analog Lab, you see that now Analog Lab shows there. And if I want to see DAW, now we have the DAW preset, and maybe I can lower that down. And yeah, so that's something that you can switch, and you can have different presets here. Then we have here the DAW command center, where we have transpose buttons so that we can enable and disable record, play and stop. And we also have some save, punch, undo, metro, which is the metronome, and we have here some other options there. I usually only use these three. And yeah, then we have this encoder button, and it has also a click button. I think you can hear it. And we have this moving left and right. I will show you this more when we go into Analog Lab software. So this is more to control that software, and it's really nice. Even though in FL Studio it's not the best, how can I say, it's not the best integration with Analog Labs. It's a little bit sad, to be honest, but it is what it is, and we can still use it, and we can still have fun with it. Then we have here some other buttons. I'm not going to talk about these buttons, but I'm going to talk about the faders and the knobs here. So the faders feel really cool. Also, as you can see, every time I move a parameter here, the LCD shows, and now it shows track 1, meaning that this, because we are in DAW mode, as you can see, we are in DAW mode, this is assigned to the DAW, and the DAW will be the mixer in this case. So whenever we can see here track 2, track, let me see, track 3, track 4, yeah. And if we go to FL Studio, actually, this would have the values change. So let me show you FL Studio right now. And yeah, as you can see here, if I move this knob, the fader here in the mixer also moves. And as you can see, this moves along with the fader. So you have to, it will not automatically recognize. So you have to move it a couple of times so that it starts and recognizes. And now you can move all the faders, and you can do your own mixing here with the faders, which is something that I actually do not use too much, but you could use it and have some fun with it, and play around with it, and have a more old school feeling of mixing. And then we have here the knobs, and as you can see, the knobs here, they move the panning or the rotation buttons. They move the panning here, and we can have several combinations. So this is really nice. We can set this up like that, and we can play around with this a little bit. If you like to have a more tactile feeling, you can use these faders and the knobs just to do some mixing. And let's go to Analog Lab preset, and now if we move this, you see that nothing happens in the mixer, and if we move here the knobs, nothing happens in the mixer. So you can choose for this map select, and you can choose between several settings, and it's really fast. So you can click once and then move to whatever you want. You can have other presets that you can select and configure. And yeah, so this is the layout of the keyboard, and there's not too much to it besides that. I think the knobs feel really good, or the faders feel really nice, and the knobs also feel quality knobs, to be honest. And I think this keyboard actually, it's better than the one that I have, which was the M Audio Keystation 61. That one was an entry-level keyboard, and it also cost half of this one. So this one cost me 200 and something euros. The other one cost me 100 and something euros. So you have a more entry-level keyboard, which was really good at the time that I bought it. it was a step up in my productions, and now I said, okay, now I think I need to upgrade my keyboard, so I chose this one, and I'm really happy with it. I would like to have weighted keys, but that would put a keyboard like that in the range of 400 to 500 euros, and it was a little bit harder to justify. But I think these sounds, they feel really good. They don't have the same pressure as the ones from M Audio had. These ones, I feel it's a little bit more softer, so I don't have to play that hard. And the keys are also velocity keys, velocity sensitive keys. So if you play soft, it will play soft. If you really slam the keys, it will play it really hard. So now let's move to FL Studio, and I'm going to show you some of the sounds and the integration of the keyboard with Analog Lab. So as you can see here, I have Analog Labs 4, Analog Lab V, Mini V3 and Stage 73V. So these are the 4 plugins that come with this keyboard. And if the keyboard was not enough, I think the plugins just take it to a different level. And having the plugins along with the keyboard was why I chose this keyboard, because for me the plugins really helped in selling this keyboard to me. So let's open Analog Lab. Sometimes it takes a little bit to open, but yeah, that's fine. So now let's see that we have Analog Lab selected, and as you can see, if I move the faders, nothing happens. And we have the same layout here, so we have 3, 6, 9 faders and 9 knobs. And if we go here to Analog Labs, we will see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We see that we have also 9 knobs and faders. So how can we control the Keylab plugin with this keyboard? In some other DAWs like Ableton, the integration is automatic. So you load this plugin into any track and then you can just move right away. In FL Studio, it's a little bit more complicated. We have to first enable the keyboard in the MIDI settings. And as you can see here, I have my input as Arturia Keylab 61, and this is in port 0. And then I have to come here to options and then select input port 0. And now if I move the knobs, everything works. So this is a little bit the worst part about this plugin, or about integration with FL Studio, is that it's kind of I don't know, it's not the best integration possible, to be honest, and I would like to have this a little bit more smooth, a little bit more integrated, but I think this is the only drawback that I see with this keyboard in FL Studio. I would like to have this automatically detected, but it is what it is. We have to work with what we have, and this is the status, the current status of things. And the good thing about this is that we can play stuff and we can move around. We can move the knobs or faders around and have this change parameters in the Analog Lab plugin. Okay, and as you can hear, it sounds really nice. The sounds are really cool. So now that we have this integrated and this is working as we wanted, now we can just go and, for instance, start moving presets. Just click on this button and it will change the preset. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to recognize the change, and we can also move the knob, which probably is the best one, and we can just click on it and it will select. Okay, let's try something else. Let's see these keys. Actually sounds really cool. As you can see, the sounds are really nice. Let's see something else here just for the sake. Let's see some brass. Maybe we can also see some different keys. Another good thing about this instrument is that you can have different, you can select by different instrument types. So if you want some Jupiter 8, some DX7, or some other models here, we have these models here, which is really nice. We can select by type. And as you can see, we have several types here, styles. This is really nice. So if you want to have some kind of, let's say, we want to make some disco track, we can select this, and let's see. We have some disco track. So let's put this 120. And this, we have automatically a disco vibe. Let's see this lead. And let's see something else here. And of course, you can still go back and remove disco. And let's go see now hard techno. This could probably be nice. Let's see what we have here. Some hard techno stuff. And what else? Let's see some sequences. Let's maybe put this 128. Okay, what else? Some strings. And as you can hear, the sounds are really, really nice. They sound really cool. Let's see some other sequences. This can really help speed up some of or give you some inspiration and give you some really nice, sounds. So that's it. I think that's the main takeaways. You can control the plugin with these faders and the knobs. We can switch between Analog Lab and DAW or some other presets. And now if I move this, it will change the track number, and it always, maybe let me switch to the webcam, and it always shows here what we are moving. And okay, if I see track 1, I know that I want to go to Analog Lab, and then I can move the fader in the plugin. So the only drawback again is the way FL Studio interacts with this keyboard, but I don't think that's a reason to not buy this plugin or this keyboard. I think most of the times I don't actually use the faders right now. If I like a sound, if I really like a sound and I want to modulate it, then I would probably go ahead and go to the port, select the port, and then have these the faders associated with the plugin. If I want to do some custom manipulation of the parameters and I want to have it in a knob, that will be fine. But most of the time I just use the transpose options, I use the keyboard, the octaves, and maybe some of the pads, which they feel really cool. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm really happy. I'm really happy with this keyboard. I think it was a really good buy here for the studio. And I don't know, my thoughts are all good. This was not a paid promotion from Arturia. This was bought with my own money. I bought this keyboard in I think in the new year when I came to the studio, and I have a couple of months of it so that I could have a more clear understanding of what I felt about the keyboard and if it was a good buy or not. And I strongly recommend, if you are looking for an improvement to your studio, this is a no-brainer. If you don't want to spend, if you don't have a huge budget to spend on a keyboard, if you don't need weighted keys, if this is just for music production like we do it in the box here in FL Studio or any other DAW, I think this keyboard is really nice because it comes with a lot of synths, and this can really improve the way you make beats because it will give you a huge library of new sounds so that they can spark your inspiration. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial or this review, and if you are new here to this channel, subscribe and activate the notifications so that you know when I upload new videos. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. And if you want to support this channel, consider buying one of the products at DailyBeatsVI or become a premium member, and you'll have access to the exclusive tutorials that I do here for the channel, and you'll also have access to the exclusive list of sample packs that you can download and also project files so that you can increase the library, increase your sound library with quality sounds so that it can give you more inspiration and better tools to make music. And you'll also have access to the Q&A sessions where I gather all of your questions and I answer them in videos so that I can help you accelerate your learning curve and so that you can become a more professional producer, mixer, and master engineer. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.